Back in Bucharest, and the vibe has shifted from Alpine Survivor to Urban Zen. I'm walking through the King Michael I Park. Michael Jackson Memorial in 1992, MJ brought a dangerous tour to Bucharest and basically stopped the entire country. 70,000 people in the stadium and about 22 million more watching on TV. Fun fact, Bucharest was the first place he ever mistakenly said, "Hello Budapest," which is a mistake I've managed not to make so far. I've run into the park's local security team, black cats, everywhere, just sitting on the concrete fences like they're waiting for a music video to start. They're not even bothered by tourists, they just own the place. I'm starting to think these cats are actually the ones keeping the moonwalk legend alive. Either that, or they know exactly where the best sunny spots are for a 4-hour nap. Moreover guys, I'm claiming this spot in the name of hydration. The pigeons were having a full pool party here, but the Bucharest sun is officially winning today, and I need a refill. It's 30 degrees Celsius, the sun is blazing, and Bucharest is currently being invaded by summer snow? No, wait, it's actually the female poplar trees having a very loud, very floppy biological breakdown. St. Joseph Cathedral, built in 1884, while the most of the city is covered in white stone and golden domes. This place is all about that deep red brick and serious Romanesque vibes. Look at the stonework, it's got the classic French Renaissance fair tall chimneys, ornate balconies and windows that look like they were meant for royalty to waveform. It was built for the Crețulescu family and it has managed to survive a century of chaos while looking for completely unbothered. The Romanian Athenaeum. It was built in 1888, and get this, it was partially funded by the public lottery with the slogan, "Give 1 leu for the Athenaeum." Talk about successful crowdfunding campaign. The garden out front is like a quiet island in the middle of city chaos. It is manicured, it's green, and it feels like you should be wearing a tuxedo just to walk on the grass. And everywhere look, there are portraits of the greats. You've got a Eminescu standing guard in bronze, and just above the entrance, 5 gold-backed mosaics of Romania's historic leaders. It's time to check in, and I can smell strong concrete like Soviet era, and look at that cold fireplace. Just sitting there like a ghost of winter past. You can almost smell the history in the walls. And then there's the main event, the elevator. It's that classic green metal cage style. The kind that looks like it belongs in a Wes Anderson film or a spy thriller. It doesn't just take you to your floor, it takes you through the decades. You have to do the manual double gate dance. Slide, click, slide, lock. This old lift is a test of patience, and honestly, it's way more satisfying than a modern touch screen. We are moving slowly. You can see the stairwell spiraling around us as we rise.
This is what after the Croatian vehicle.
Top floor. Okay. Hey, what is it? What's that? Nice decor. Looks like somebody have sense of interior. Most important, bathroom. Yes, perfect. Clean, cozy, but where's towel? Okay, there's towel. This is perfect. This is awesome. I think this is the most clean and cozy room that I rent among those private flats. And plus Samsung. Aww. Walking into this lobby feels less like a check-in and more like a coronation of fallen emperor. Look at these chairs straight out of medieval banquet hall. Romanian Orthodox Church on Stavropoleos in central Bucharest. 1682, when a wooden church was erected in this place, which was then at the border of the city. In 1760, the wooden church was replaced by a brick church. As the sun began its slow descent, the sky turned a deep bruised violet, but the horizon held onto a vibrant honeyed gold. If you are a photographer, this is the boost level of lighting. No filters needed, just the sun, the grass, and a whole lot of fluffy potential. Back in the concrete jungle, and I found the most dedicated scavengers in Romania. Look at this guy, he's not even scared. He's got that I've survived 3 Bucharest winters and even a revolution. Just give me the nugget energy. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's doing investigation of my back for snacks right now. A funny contrast, right? From the silent peaks of the Bazilescu mountains to these tiny city slickers fighting over a sesame seed from a hamburger. I've officially found the busiest intersection in Bucharest, and no, it's not the cars, it's the pigeons. They've completely claimed the road, and honestly, I think I need to ask them for permission just to cross the street. When one goes, they all go. It's like a feathered flash mob. 1 second, you are walking on concrete, the next, you are in the middle of a whirlwind. It's chaotic, it's loud, and it's surprisingly cinematic if you don't mind a little bit of urban confetti flying around. The heart of the city. It's been the site of revolutions and the protests, but today, The only manifestation is for more breadcrumbs. These birds have seen it all. They are the permanent residents of Little Paris, and they've got the best seats in the house. As the sun dips low over Sector 2, we've arrived at one of the Bucharest's most iconic landmarks. Foisorul de Foț, built in 1890, this 42-meter tower was the highest point in the city for decades. It wasn't just a watchtower. It was the city's silent guardian. Back in the day, firefighters would stand at the top 24/7, scanning the horizon for smoke.
Fire! Smoke!
Fun fact, it was also supposed to be a water tower, but the pumps at the time weren't strong enough to get the water all the way up. So it stayed a lookout until telephones made the job obsolete in 1935. It's been closed for years for a massive restoration, but it's finally back as a National Firefighters Museum.
Hallowed Jaunts salute to all firefighters around the world.
Talk about the contrast, we've arrived at an Italian Church of the Most Holy Redeemer. Built between 1915 and 1916, this place was inspired by the Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan. It was founded by the Italian King, Vittorio Emanuele III, and even the Pope. It's actually still owned by the Italian government today. Just a few steps from the chaos of University Square, we found the oldest hospital complex in Bucharest and its heart, Coltea Church. When you look up at Coltea, you're looking at the work of Gheorghe Tatarescu, the man who basically brought the Italian Renaissance to Bucharest. This isn't just a ceiling, it's a neoclassical sky. But the real showstopper is the iconostasis. It's a masterpiece of gilded wood. The church has survived fires, earthquakes, and even the 1944 bombings. A little bit of Byzantine, a dash of Italian Baroque, and a lot of Romanian soul. If you thought the other ceilings were good, wait until you see this. Welcome to the Maca Villa Croce passage. It's the 19th century shopping arcade that doesn't just let the light in, it turns it into pure gold. Seriously, it's like living inside a permanent sunset. Built in 1891, this was Bucharest's first luxury mall because a hotel owner refused to sell his building in the middle. The architect just built around it. That is why it has this unique fork shape. One side is Maca, the other is Villa Croce, and the middle is where the party is. The yellow glass was a genius move. Even on a grey, rainy Bucharest day, it feels like a mid-July in here. It was designed by a French architect to look like the grand halls of Paris, and honestly, I think he might have outdone the original. If most cathedrals are heavy metal, this place is acoustic indie. It was built in 1724. It looks like someone took a giant stone palace and accidentally put it in the dryer and high heat. It's basically what happened when Byzantine, Ottoman and Italian style have a very fancy party. Every inch of these columns is carved. I've seen wedding cakes with less lace than this stone porch. Now step into the church, inside. It's 100% atmosphere, it smells like ancient history and very expensive incense. The frescoes are original, and the wood carvings on the altar are so intricate they make my IKEA furniture look like a pile of sticks. It's tiny, it's quiet, and it's the ultimate vibe check for the old town. Wait, did I just walk through a door or a wormhole? 1 second I'm in 2026 Bucharest, and the next I'm in a Roman villa. If I see a guy in toga holding a goblet of wine, I'm not even going to be surprised. This is the lapidarium. It's basically an outdoor museum for stone survivors. These pieces are all that's left of the church that didn't make it through the city's, let's call it, a turbulent history. It's got that quiet, sun-drenched Italian vibe, where you just want to sit down and write a long-winded poem. Here it is, the Palace of the Parliament. It's the second largest administrative building in the world, right after the Pentagon. It's so big that if you got lost in here, they wouldn't find you until the next century. It's basically a mountain of marble and ego. To build this, the former dictator Nicolae Ceausescu demolished a huge chunk of history. Bucharest, neighborhoods, church, hospitals gone. It took 700 architects and enough marble to pave a road to the sun. It's 84 meters high, but what's crazier is that it goes 8 levels underground, including a nuclear bunker. They call it the People's House, which is ironic because the people weren't exactly invited in while it was being built. Today, it houses the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies, but even with all that, about 70% of the building is still empty. That is a lot of spare rooms for activities. It weighs 4 billion kilograms. It's literally sinking into the ground under its own weight at a rate of 6 millimeters a year. So if you want to see it, you'd better hurry. Come back in a million years and it'll just a very expensive basement. I am not in a noir film, and this isn't just a special effect for a music video. This is just Bucharest in the morning. The streets are literally smoking, and no, the city isn't on fire. At least I don't think so. Underneath this street is a massive network of pipes carrying boiling water to heat the city. But a pro tip: don't stand directly over it for too long unless you want a free, high-pressure facial with hints of underground rust scents. 10 out of 10 for the aesthetic, 2 out of 10 for the smell. We have arrived at Artesian Fountain Complex. 44 fountains, nearly a mile long, and more lights than a disco in the 80s. This isn't just a park, it's a liquid masterpiece. They call this Symphony of Water. On summer weekends, this place turns into a full-blown concert. The water is choreographed to everything from Queen to Ennio Morricone's. It's the one time a week where nobody in Bucharest is complaining about the traffic, because they are all too busy watching the water dance. Listen to that. That's the sound of 20th century engineering fighting for its life. These older trams have character. They rattle, they roll, and they've probably seen more history than most of the museums. If you're lucky, you'll catch a spark from the wires. That's just the city giving you a little high five. Pro tip: the tram Doesn't wait for a cinematic slow motion walk. You've got to be fast. It's the lifeblood of the city, moving millions of people while the cars are stuck in a 4-mile long parking lot. 10 out of 10 for efficiency, 11 out of 10 for the vintage vibes. We've left the fountain behind for something a little quieter. Welcome to Bazilescu Park. It's breezy, it's grand, and it's surprisingly peaceful for a city of 2 million. This park has survived world wars, royal changes, and a lot of history, but tonight, it's just about this moment. The transition from day to night in Bucharest is something special. The city stops rushing for a second, just watching the sky catch fire. It's a city that doesn't try to be perfect, which is exactly why it's awesome. It's honest, it's beautiful, and it's probably the only place where you can find the 300 years old monastery next to a techno club and a giant steaming manhole. My legs are dead, my camera storage is full, and I'm pretty sure I'm at least 5% polenta at this point. But would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Bucharest, you have been a trip. Literally.